I'm Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. Thanks for joining us for the November episode of Behind the Star. With Thanksgiving approaching this month, I would first like to wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday. I also wanted to express my gratitude to the more than 4,000 men and women of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. I'm proud to lead this incredible team of professional employees. They are dedicated to serve the residents of Palm Beach County.
Thanks, Sheriff Bradshaw. And not only do PBSO employees help people in our community, but members of our team headed north after Hurricane Michael devastated areas in the Panhandle.
Hurricane Michael that struck the Panhandle was quite severe. A lot of areas were quite decimated, and the need for law enforcement services and police operations is quite great right now. Today we're embarking on a mission up to Bay County, Florida, up in the Panhandle, to assist our brothers and sisters in blue and green on a mission of police operations to assist them with police patrol and any other type of assistance we can offer.
You guys are going right to the heart of it, so just keep that in mind. That's why you're going all totally self-contained.
Based on the description of the mission, we accepted it, and it was approved through the chain of command, through executive staff to Sheriff Rick Bradshaw.
Your safety is paramount to us here. Don't take any unnecessary risks, but get up there and do your jobs, what you always do. I appreciate everybody being here.
Just like the Colonel said, professionalism. Let's show them what PBSO is about. Let's help them as best we can. We're going up with a quick response team of 25 emergency field force members, men and women, along with other support to include canine, fleet management, radio services, a drone unit, and a canine unit.
Well, God, we come now at the beginning of this event knowing full well that we don't know what we're going to see. But we do know that when we walk in there, we walk in with our brothers and our sisters. We walk in there in the midst of people who have been devastated with winds we can't even imagine.
All right, we got you guys all the way up to the county line, so everything should be shut down. There shouldn't be any traffic when we're trying to get on, all right?
I couldn't begin to tell you how proud I am of the members of the Emergency Field Force Unit and also members of all the other specialty units that have taken time out of their lives to assist and accompany Emergency Field Force Unit up to Bay County and assist our brothers and sisters in green and blue at a time in need. We're PBSO strong. We're going to do a great job, and we're going to help everybody that needs help.
Now, closer to home, a Jupiter teenager credits PBSO Marine units, the Jupiter PD, and a friend for saving his life.
I was assigned to patrol out of the Jupiter Inlet on the day in question, approximately around 8 o'clock in the morning. Received a call of a subject not breathing in the Atlantic Ocean on a private boat. He was in a position approximately 2 miles offshore, about 1 mile north of the inlet, and so I responded to that area and found the boat when I arrived on scene.
I heard him coming out the inlet on his boat. He was flying.
Mike observed a white male subject doing CPR on another individual down in the boat.
I was shaking, I was tired, but he helped out a lot. So glad he was there.
Jupiter Police Department pulled up with 2 officers on board, and I asked one of them to come on board to assist. He came on board, asked him if he could continue working and doing CPR as I drove the boat back.
My son's with us because of a number of miracles that happened that day. Not the least of which was his friend Matt, who brought him back to the surface and started CPR. But all of the first responders immediately following, starting with Joe Pollack.
There's so many variables that had to fall into place for this to actually be successful and for this person to actually live. Starting with his dive partner actually recognizing that there was an issue. Me, instead of running the coast and being on normal patrol and escorting the ship, still being in the area where it took me 7 minutes from the time that I got the phone call to locate him and then be pulling him on board. Fire rescue being their super fast response to get there, and it all worked out well. There were so many little variables, and that's why this was a successful operation.
And we are so proud of this guy, and he's a diver, and I got a chance to talk with him as well. He's a friend of the family, and isn't it a small world? It's really a village here in Palm Beach County.
Sheriff Bradshaw recently had the honor to welcome 80 veterans who returned from the Southeast Florida Honor Flight from Washington, D.C. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and the City of Lake Worth celebrated the 10th anniversary of the merger of the Lake Worth Police Department into PBSO.
Welcome to our PBSO District 14 Lake Worth substation. I'd like to thank you all for coming out today to help us celebrate a milestone. It's hard to believe, but 10 years ago today, the Lake Worth Police Department was merging into the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. I can tell you, thank you. I can tell you personally that it's been a wonderful experience for me to come full circle. I started here as an officer 23.5 years ago, and to be brought back as a district commander has been a really exciting thing at an exciting time for the city. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce some of our PBSO and city officials and then turn the mic over to the sheriff. From PBSO, we have Sheriff Bradshaw here today. We have Major Chris Keene. And we have Captain Dave Moss, who helped carry the torch here for a long time, probably 6 or 7 of those 10 years. From the city side, we have Mayor Pam Triolo, Vice Mayor Scott Maxwell, and Commissioner Herman Robinson. And we also have the city manager, Mike Bornstein, here. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to the sheriff, and then the mayor is going to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning to everybody. See, they're still coming in. I knew it was going to be a good turnout because there's food. Yeah. always count on it. Let me tell you how far back that I go to Lake Worth. Not only was I born and raised here in Lake Worth, I lived down on South Sea Terrace. When I was in high school on governmental day, I was actually the police chief in Lake Worth for the day. I still have a picture of me sitting in the police chief's chair when the station was down there near Federal Highway with the hat on, and they said, you know, what would you like to do like when you grow up? And I said, you know, one day I'd like to be the police chief in Lake Worth. Well, I didn't make it that far, but you know, the fact that we were able to come down here and make a difference is really special to me. You know, a couple of years before the merger, we heard that, you know, it can't happen good, it's not gonna go good, you know, we don't wanna lose our police department, but we knew in our estimation, in our experience, that there was good men and women that worked here, and that the city was not gonna lose their police department, but in fact, they were gonna gain an agency that was going to do what we promised we were gonna do, and that's make the quality of life of the citizens here as good as we could make it. And fortunately, with a lot of hard work from the men and women that worked there, the support of the city, which I knew was skeptical, and they had the right to be that because they wanted the best things for their residents. Things have turned out to be as good as they can be at this point in time. Still a lot of work to do, we realize that, but every day that they come to work, it's something that they're trying to make a difference and make it even better. The crime stats have been really good, but you know, I try not to take too much credit for when they're down, because guess what? When they're not down, they're gonna come back and ask you why they're not down. But we have had some very good crime stats on the negative side for the last few years, and we're gonna make sure that we keep it that way. So 10 years has been fast. Seems like just yesterday, but I think at the end of the day, most of the people that you talk to will say that they wished it had done it 5 years earlier than we did it, because it's turned out to be something that's very special on both sides of the coin. Not only for us, the men and women that work here, but also for the people that live here. So having said that, I'm gonna let the mayor come up and say a few words, and thank you for your support, and hopefully have a long-term partnership for many years to come. Thank you very much.
I don't even know where to start. I arrived to the scene here, at least in a public way, about 7 years ago as mayor. But I can tell you that my relationship with PBSO started a little bit earlier than that. In fact, I like to blame them for my getting into politics to begin with. Having been a victim of a serious crime back in another city much earlier in my life, I take my public safety and my personal safety very seriously. And moving and investing in the city of Lake Worth, everything I had, my business, my husband's business, my dad had been here, we're on our second home here in the city, and I saw things deteriorating in a way that just was out of control, especially the gang activity. This is about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and many of the things that were going on. And in fact, I loved our Lake Worth PD. I thought they were some of the best people in the entire world, but they just simply didn't have the numbers or the tools and things that they needed in the trainings and all the advanced things that they really needed to do the job, because it was really getting out of control. And when PBSO came in and there was that whole thing, whether they should come or whether they should go, and that whole political animal went on, that's when I stepped up and got involved. That's why I blame you. It was necessary, the time had come, and we needed the manpower, the resources, and most importantly, the talent and the heart that you all provided with our Lake Worth PD. And them being able to step up and get those trainings and get those tools that they needed was fantastic, and we've all become a family. I'm your hugest, biggest fan. I hope you all know that. I think you do by now. And just being able to see things turn around and our crime statistics to go down in such dramatic ways. I still remember back when Captain Silva was here, remember the city had so many challenges. One of the things being that the city hadn't enacted laws that gave people the ability, and PBSO the ability, to go in and actually, say, arrest people that were trespassing on your property, or arrest prostitution activity, or go in and actually open the doors, or board up houses. We didn't have any laws. We had to create 148 laws that gave you the ability to go in and do your job that you could do in other cities, and give you the tools that you needed from us. And we've been holding hands ever since, and we've been fighting this battle ever since. And I'm so very proud of what you do. Most importantly, I'm proud of your professionalism. I'm proud of your compassion. I'm proud that you treat us like you're our local police force, not just another city that you happen to be. You're our friends, you're our family, and I'm so very grateful that you're here. And I'm so very grateful that I've been around for 7 years and I get to work with you day in and day out, and let it be another 10, another 10, another 10, another lifetime together. Congratulations, and thank you for a job well done always.
PBSO joined residents in Royal Palm Beach for the annual National Night Out Against Crime. This event centered on crime prevention, and there was food, bounce houses, animal petting, and much more. Recently, PBSO celebrated International Day of the Girl. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office strives to empower girls to become future leaders.
Keep your head up.
Be strong, don't quit.
You are beautiful.
You are stronger than what you think. Go in the gym and go and lift.
Every day is not a good day, but there is definitely good in every single day.
Hey, Deputy Reed out here in beautiful Belglade. I heard it was hashtag Day of the Girl, so to all you girls out there, something that my late father told me, and I'm still learning. No one will love you the way you want them to love you unless you love you that way. Be your biggest fan. Got me? I'm just trying to be hip with my Snapchat filter and curl my gray hair. Oh, and wear your seatbelt.
I want you guys to stay fit, stay healthy, and take care of yourself.
Last month, PBSO participated in activities involving Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Again this year, we took part in the Strides Against Breast Cancer breakfast at the Gun Club Cafe. A great turnout at the restaurant, and a lot of money was raised. And as always, our pink patrol car was out in the community to show support for cancer research and cancer survivors. On the back of the vehicle, a message that says the role of law enforcement is not only to serve and protect our community, but to also promote a sense of giving and to support anyone diagnosed with cancer. Our pink patrol car has been very visible recently, and so we appreciate the efforts of our mentoring group, Boys to Men. They take pride giving the vehicle a good wash to promote breast cancer awareness. And now, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office explains school crossing violations and how to better improve safety for our children while heading to and from school.
This is about the violations that occur within our school zones where we often see the parents discharging or unloading the students in the roadway, not taking into consideration that they're allowing their children to walk into the flow of traffic. She just let her kid out in the middle of the roadway. You see all the kids walking between the cars back there. So as you can see, this parent is walking in the roadway with their child. The issue is that A, it's a violation of Florida state statute. That's an enforceable traffic citation with a fine of $116. The second thing is that we obviously don't want for a child to be injured or at the worst killed because of these issues. And when you see the parents allowing their own children to be placed in harm's way, it causes grave concern for us. We have signage posted everywhere in the school zones, and we've been out here educating the parents for several weeks, especially at the beginning of our school times, to let them know that it is illegal for them to drop their children off in the middle of the roadway or to block the crosswalks. But yet they continue to do so because, like right there, you'll see it, a child getting out, oh, and there he goes, he fell. And that's the issues right there, is that it's safer for them to go through the car line that the school district has provided than it is for them to drop their children off in the roadway. The first priority should be your child's safety, not your rush to get to whatever it is that you're doing. If that's the issue, then leave earlier. So see the black car to your right? They have actually crossed the stop bar. That's illegal. While the crossing guards are doing their crossings, you'll see the vehicles stopping in the middle of the crosswalk or in some way impeding into the crosswalk while the crossing guards are there. If that person let off at the brake and hit the gas by accident, he'd run over everyone in that crosswalk. The crosswalk is supposed to be for the pedestrians, not for vehicles to block it. We don't want a child injured. We don't want a child killed. We want for our children to have safe environments to and from school every day. As a deputy with the School Traffic Safety Unit, the first priority that we have is to make sure that all of the children in Palm Beach County get to school in the morning safely and get home in the afternoon safely. And in order to accomplish that, it takes a team. It takes a team of the parents enforcing the behaviors. It takes the deputies making sure that everyone is in compliance. You just want for everyone to work cohesively together so that we are providing safe environments for our children and teaching them the proper techniques as they get older.
School safety, an important part of Walk to School Day. Our deputies were at school across the district, making sure the boys and girls were safe, walking and biking to school.
Good morning. Can you hop off your bike for me, please? Thank you for wearing your helmet. The reason why I asked you to hop off your bike is so that you can walk, and walking is safer than riding your bike. Hi, good morning. Can you remove your hoodie and your earbuds, please? That as well is for safety so that you can hear the traffic around you. You guys stay right here. Someone push the button for me, please. Thank you, and stay right on this sidewalk until I tell you to search and walk, please. Search and walk. Remember, school's in session. Please slow down and drive safely.
For those in law enforcement battling weight problems, we want you to know that you are not alone. Losing weight is not about looking better in uniform. It's about living a healthier lifestyle.
When I was on a motorcycle and I was heavy, being outside all day in the heat with a bulletproof vest on was absolutely brutal. Just brutal. You can't even imagine how difficult it was to be outside all day in the 85, 90 degree, 95 degree heat and be that heavy. It was a big toll on me.
I've known Ron since 2007, and of course we talked about weight loss, and he had struggled, and he would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight.
Doing my job when I was heavy was a real task. Actually, being overweight, and there's a lot of places where I have to do a lot of walking, going up and down stairs. That was difficult. My knees were bothering me because of my weight.
Every time I see that eagle, it's a sight. I call this the walk of shame.
Right.
Because that's when I realized that I was in so much trouble with the amount of weight that I put on. The incline, the very slight incline, became like heavy on your quads.
Weight problem, obesity, is an epidemic in this country, and obesity is a medical problem, just like addiction. Most of it's psychological.
The weight gain and being, excessively overweight, your belly hanging over, your gun belt and your magazine squeezed forward, and the pinching of your stomach, the way it affected my job as a policeman is being able to run short distances, ineffectively, to being out of a breath by the time you get your hands on a suspect to try to secure him, and hoping your partner is close on your tail to pick up your slack. He was another inspiration in the weight loss.
For those who, in law enforcement who want to live a healthy lifestyle, lose some weight, I found a plan that worked for me. Find a plan that works for you, and just do it. I would highly recommend just jump into it with both feet.
So my advice is, first of all, get help, look at what you're eating, and make healthy choices.
Well, this was canceled, so we're going to move on to the next one.
If I could get a patient to stick to the first 3 or 4 months of a weight loss program, no matter what it is, if they could stick to the 3 or 4 months, they can do it.
Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, anybody home? Hello? Palm Beach Sheriff's Office.
Like I said, this is what I do all day, so we're up and down stairs like this all day long, and it's a pretty steep set of stairs, and like I just flew up there like it was nothing, but I would have to, before that, I would have to hold on to the handrail.
But the easiest thing I can say to you is, to the deputies that are overweight, stop eating those processed foods, start drinking the water you're supposed to be drinking, and to get out and lose the weight, and then go back to doing some of the things that they like to do. You'll be on the news too. Being in good shape, being hydrated, and having the right mindset, which is what it does when you feel good about yourself, and the confidence levels that you have getting out here and performing is much higher.
We never know what we're going to be walking into when we go into an apartment or a house. So, you take a chance every time you walk into a house of encountering someone who may try to hurt you. So you don't want to be that guy who winds up getting hurt because you weren't in shape and you weren't able to protect yourself properly. And the bottom line is, we all want to go home at the end of the day. So that's the bottom line.
Hello, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, anybody home? Hello?
PBSO recently at the Home Depot on Okeechobee Boulevard, interacting with the community during a national fire safety event. It was great having the chance to interact with people and answering their questions. Our SWAT team is always pulling for Special Olympians. And check out the efforts here at Palm Beach International Airport. The SWAT team pulls a JetBlue airplane. Pretty impressive. And a great night at Chili's in Lantana. It was Tip a Hero night at the restaurant. Customers donated money to support St. Jude Children's Hospital. Deputy Coker and his team stepped up for the challenge, raising more than $1,345 in just 3 hours. Now, back to Sheriff Bradshaw.
Okay, that will do it for this episode of Behind the Star. On behalf of all the men and women of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, I'm Rick Bradshaw. Thank you for watching.